All right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vicki Chats podcast. I have a very special guest in the studio today, Margaret Moye, Executive Director of the Grout Museum District. Margaret serves as the Executive Director and, of course, the Grout Museum District, a cornerstone of culture, history, and science in the Cedar Valley. With a deep passion for education and community engagement, she is helping to lead the district through an exciting new era, one that honors its rich past while reimagining its future. Under her leadership, the Grout Museum of History and Science is undergoing a transformative project, the heartfelt closing of the beloved Imaginarium, to make way for the brand new state-of-the-art Children's Science Center designed to inspire curiosity, creativity, and lifelong learning within the Museum of History and Science. So, Margaret's background blends a strong commitment to museum innovation with a dedication to making history and science accessible and meaningful for all ages. Her collaborative leadership style and love for storytelling through exhibits continue to strengthen the Grout's role as both a local treasure and a regional destination. Welcome to the show, Margaret.
Thanks, Vicki.
Yes.
It's always fun to be here.
Oh, yay. It's always beautiful to have you here. So tell us a little bit about where you grew up and what first sparked your interest in museums or education.
Yeah, so I grew up, I'm a farm kid from Western Illinois, so my family is still out there farming. We've got 800 acres as the family. My dad is the sole operator, but my mom helps as well. I have an older sister and a younger brother. My sister's an educator. My dad's a farmer, but I think he would have, in another life, would have been a really fantastic educator. The way he always explained things when we were working, he was very systematic, and it just flowed with how he could explain something to make sense for how you best learned. So my dad was a lot of my inspiration for the education piece as well as the history piece. So when we were at the family dinner table and we were talking about our school work, he would pull out the encyclopedia and read a little bit about something we were learning about, or tell us a little bit more than what we'd learned. And that always stayed with me.
Yes, I love that you had physical encyclopedia.
Oh yeah, we had several sets.
You did?
Yes. I mean, I sort of half remember being really little when a salesman came to the door for the child craft.
Yeah, the child craft
encyclopedias.
Yes.
So I read those a lot when I was a kid and would do the crafts and things out of them.
How powerful.
And then there was this green set from the mid 80s, and then this red, like maroon and gold set that was like the mid 90s.
Yes,
that
yes.
we would use.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yep.
We had a set too, and I loved it. And something else we used to do with our encyclopedias, I don't know if you ever did this, but we would take fall leaves and press them between the pages. Did you do that too?
We didn't always do it between the pages,
Yes.
But when I was working on 4-H projects and something had to get flattened, whether it was an actual leaf or something, or if it was just like the poster board, the encyclopedias were the first thing. Go on the corner, flatten them out.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what does a typical day look like for you inside the museum?
Every day is a little bit different because you never really know what you're going to encounter. But as an executive director, my primary roles are the administrative side, working with our board of directors, fundraising piece, writing grant proposals. So I also do a lot of the development side right now. But then I'm there for our staff, and I want to make sure they have the supports they need.
Yes.
So we're a very slim staff for the sheer number of services that we offer at the district. So if somebody's out sick, or if there's a project with a tight deadline and they need some extra help in the trenches, I want to be there to do that.
That's amazing. I love that. So how do you recharge your batteries outside of the museum?
Yeah, so I love to go for walks, being outside. I also have been doing a lot of walking videos, especially with it getting dark earlier. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of walk at home videos in the evening after supper. My husband and I love to cook together.
Really?
On the weekends, I also do a lot of baking. Hence the need to walk,
right?
to kind of maintain where I'm at. But life's too short to have bad food. Right. So enjoying the food, but then balancing out, like wholesome and whole foods and with the occasional treat. Yeah. And then I listen to a lot of podcasts about fairy tales and folklore.
Ooh.
And before bed, there's always reading as well. So now I'm reading America's First Daughter So it's a
Ooh.
historical fiction about Thomas Jefferson's daughter, Patsy.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So speaking of books, do you have a favorite book, movie, or museum that has inspired you personally or professionally?
I'm a big Tolkien fan. We've already talked about a couple
Yes.
times. A Lauren Goes Wilder fan,
Yes.
Bonnet Head.
Yes, Bonnet
If you
Head.
didn't know that was a thing, it's totally a thing.
It's a thing. And we're both Bonnet Heads,
Yeah.
proudly so.
Because they have Laura Palooza. Like there's this whole research conference where the Bonnet Heads gather.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
yes.
at some point in life, I'll probably end up going to Laura Palooza.
For sure. Same. I'm doing it.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
I do a lot of that. I also really like to cross stitch is one of my craft activities that can, especially on a weekend when I have a long stretch of time. So I watch Planet Earth or any kind of nature documentary narrated by David Attenborough.
Okay, cool.
And cross stitch while I do that as well. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So, I just am so impressed. You're learning and you're using your hands to make something beautiful, a traditional art form that has gone on for ages. Beautiful.
I'm not creative enough to make up my own patterns.
It's
I
all
do just
good.
follow the pattern, but
It's
it's
all
very
good.
relaxing. I did that that was one of my first projects as a 4-H'er. So when I was 8 years old, I made a light bulb, and then I just kept going after that.
Okay, so how much would you take to finish a cross stitch?
Depends on the size. So the longest I've ever done, and I had undergraduate between all of this,
Yeah.
so it was not a consistent.
Right.
But there were 2 geishas, and
Ah,
it took me 6 years on and off to get that done.
oh, bless your heart, but
Yeah.
you stuck with it.
Oh yeah, it started. I don't like having unfinished projects, and I have about 3 right now.
Oh my God.
But I'm working on one for my friend is in medical school. So I actually have a deadline. She graduates in July.
Wow.
So I've got to make sure I get that done for her. But
that's amazing. Wow, I love it. So can you describe your path to becoming director of the Grout Museum District?
yeah, in undergrad, I knew I wanted to do something with history.
Mhm.
I kind of leaned toward education for a minute just because my sister was an educator. It was a familiar profession.
Yes.
But every time I was looking at classes, those weren't the ones I wanted to take. I just wanted to take the history classes.
Yeah.
And then I started.
Nice. Same.
And my undergrad was really good. So I went to Knox College, and they're really good as a liberal arts school about encouraging students to think outside the box, right? Because I think most of the time, or the rhetoric you often hear, what are you going to do with a history degree? Are you going to teach?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other options that you can do. It's a very transferable skill because you're thinking about critical thinking, synthesizing information, doing research. You can do that with any kind of topic and across the board.
Right.
But I really liked the informal teaching piece in a museum. So I wasn't in a classroom with a strict schedule every day. Something could happen and be a little bit different.
Yes.
So I started doing internships and trying to get a feel for what kind of museum I wanted to do. Did that all through undergrad, went to graduate school, kind of landed on that education piece. Started in Colorado in educational programming and event planning. Was there for a year. Really important learning experience, but wanted to make my way back to the Midwest to my family.
Of course.
So made it to Oskaloosa, and that was my first administrative executive director job, where I was the only staff person. So I did a little bit of everything, which was really nice. I could have that wide variety in my day.
Of course.
But I started really leaning into the skill set of, okay, I actually do like drafting letters and building connections with members and working with donors. And I finally got over that sense of fundraising can be very scary until you think about it as you're building relationships with people, and sharing opportunities and how they can be a part of something. So that was a big shift and a game changer for me to think more administratively. And then I got married. I moved up here, got married, and then the Grout position was open, and I threw my name in the hat, and God got me here. So
there you go, and the rest is history.
Yep,
literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what have been some of your most proudest moments since you stepped into the leadership role at the Grout Museum District?
Every day I'm learning a lot. I am so proud of the staff that I work beside.
Yeah, they're amazing.
We have such a talented staff,
yes.
and I mentioned it was a small one for the sheer amount of things that we do.
Right.
I mean, we've got 4 storerooms worth of collections, and we still actively collect.
Wow.
There's only 2 full-time and 1 part-time who are working in our library and our collections, managing all of that.
Wow.
We do rentals. We have our membership program. We do our oral histories. We're constantly working on exhibits. We've got our education with museum school plus all of the other programming.
Wow.
Right. We've got a strong marketing, IT,
yes.
the facilities,
yes.
our financials, all of those pieces form this intricate web that makes sure we can do what we do to the best that we can do it.
So beautiful.
So that I'm really proud to just be part of that ecosystem.
Yes.
And I hope that I can offer and provide the supports that they need, whether it's doing that fundraising piece or being in the trenches or helping facilitate a collaborative effort across departments or across other museums in the community or other entities in the community.
Right.
So that's probably the proudest. I've learned a lot because I came from a 1-person staff to being in charge of 23 other people, all with their own skill sets and knowledge and experience, and blending all of that together to move in one direction.
Right.
So,
and without exception, every single one of your staff members is passionate about what they do.
Absolutely.
And you don't find that very often.
Yeah.
And I love that so much about the Grout Museum District. It's beautiful.
Yep. Everybody has that. They're committed to what we do and and doing well with their job.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's not just a job. Right?
No, it's never just a job.
Because we've got folks who've been there for 30 years.
Yes.
And we've got some new hires, but everybody's pulling together to make us stronger and go into the future.
Oh, so beautiful. So let's talk about the transformation happening at the Grout Museum of History and Science. What inspired the decision to close the beloved Imaginarium and create a brand new children's science center?
Yeah, and closing a building is never a decision people want to make.
No.
Right? That building has been part of the district since 1993.
Yes.
Carl and Peggy Blue-Dorn had a vision and helped facilitate that. So made the conversion of an old savings and loan building into a children's science center.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that they were able to do that in a building that was not constructed to serve that need.
Exactly.
But that building was built in 1960. And as we continue to grow as a district, and what limited resources we have and where they were available, that building continued to show its age. Yes. The capital needs to renovate the HVAC. It's not ADA accessible. Like, it was presenting a lot of challenges that we want to make sure our community can use that space to the best of its ability.
Yes.
We also have to be thinking organizationally for fiscal responsibility and sustainability.
Yes.
For anybody who isn't aware, we're in a bit of a tight spot right now. So legislation changes happened in 2023. We were getting levy funding that the voters of Waterloo approved to support the Grout Museum District.
Yes.
And it was valued at $660,000 when it first started.
Yeah.
It's now valued at about $625,000. Yeah. That's 40% of our budget.
Right.
The legislation changed where that levy went away and was consolidated with 14 other levies, including the one that has affected our public libraries across the state. And so that consolidated levy is now under control of our local cities to determine where those funds go.
Right.
Now, Waterloo's been pretty generous, but we negotiate with them every year for a contracted amount of money.
Right.
And that legislation also impacted how they can levy in general. It capped what they're able to levy. And so they're making difficult decisions at the city. We're part of those conversations. We're making difficult decisions as an institution. And so, because we actually passed a deficit budget this year because we didn't have a choice with things.
Of course.
And so all of these factors were playing into the fact there's no way we could sustain the Imaginarium building for much longer.
Right.
And so how do we still keep our Children's Science Center? Because it was never a consideration to get rid of science. Science is an integral piece of our mission. Grout collected local history and natural history. Yeah. And so we evaluated what we could do at the museum building and we're bringing science back. So the footprint will be a bit smaller. Howery Hall is our main gallery, and that's what will be converted to our Children's Hands-On Science Center. So we're reimagining the Image.
Yes. There you go.
And there is a naming opportunity for that, for any business or family who might want to put their name on that Imaginarium gallery. So there's information about that that's on our website with our fundraising goals. But the building itself, it just became something we had to offload.
Yes, of course.
But it creates a lot of really great opportunities. It's bringing science back to the main museum building, which was where it started when the building opened in 1956 with Grout's collection.
Yeah.
The way that gallery is set up, so there'll be a back half with the hands-on exhibits. So we're keeping 24 legacy exhibits that are in great working order.
Nice.
We're taking the chance to do some minor repairs or refreshing if we need to. We're also planning to purchase 5 or 6 new ones, depending on how the fundraising goes.
Wonderful.
And that building is ADA.
Yes.
So
perfect.
now we're meeting needs in a way that we weren't able to over at the old building.
Yes.
It also has a front area where we'll be able to do rotating science concepts and exhibits. So you're kind of getting 2 pieces for one right next to our planetarium. So all of our science is sort of in its own wing now.
Wow.
Or will be when it opens July in 26.
That is so exciting. I had the honor and pleasure of having my grandson Calvin go with me to the Imaginarium, not knowing what would transpire in the interim. And we had a beautiful time there. And then we walked, of course, across the park there and went over to the History and Science building. And we had a beautiful time there. So not knowing that would be our last time at that building. But I can't wait for next summer when he comes back, because isn't that about when we're looking to open?
Yes, so July 1 is our target open date. So that space is actually, we have a new exhibit opening here 2 weeks from now. So November 18th, we have I See London, I See France. The Grout has lots of underpants. So that is our salute to underwear and textiles. Right? We have a really rich textile collection that, and many of these pieces haven't been on exhibit for a while. So we just finished our D-Day exhibit, which is understandably a very serious topic. So we always try to balance, after a really serious war exhibit, something a little more lighthearted and family friendly.
I love it.
So that space is underwear. So that's getting installed right now. So that will run from November 18th until the end of May.
Okay.
So while that exhibit is doing its run, we're in the background doing all of the design work and planning for the new Image. And then June will be that turnover for the gallery, because the renovation itself, that gallery is modern enough where there's not a lot of physical renovation that needs to happen. Right? It's carpet, it's lighting, it's paint. And then designing to make sure we have all the room for the exhibits that we're doing, and installing that temporary gallery in the front piece. But we're not having to do a lot of construction in the renovation.
Thank goodness.
So we're able to turn that gallery around pretty quickly for a July 1 open date.
So exciting. So what's that over under there?
Yes. So we have launched this week. We just launched our Reimagine the Image campaign. So our fundraising goal is $300,000. So that 250 of that is the new exhibits, sponsoring old exhibits, and the pieces that we need for the paint, carpet, the renovation. As part of this need to sustain the Science Center for the future, 50,000 of that will also go into the endowment for the long-term care of this space.
How beautiful.
So we're balancing with the legacy exhibits, with new exhibits. The exhibits that we picked represent different eras and iterations of the Blue Dorn legacy. So we've got different tier opportunities of giving, everywhere from $1 to $250. That's just as important as your $25,000 gifts. And you can get your name on our digital donor wall that will be in that space for any gift. You can also sponsor specific exhibits. So each exhibit has its own price tag that you can get your family or your name on the exhibit label.
Wow.
And it'll be visible for everybody to see.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. So tell me, how have families and community members responded to the news of this change?
Yeah, we were a little nervous about how people were going to take the news. And our community has been so supportive.
Wonderful.
There really hasn't been a lot of anger. I mean, there's been some disappointment, of course.
Yes.
There a lot of the reactions I'm seeing is, oh, that's sad, but I understand.
Yes, of course.
Especially over the last probably 5 to 8 years, the condition of the building,
Yes.
everybody was starting to notice
Okay.
that it was
sure.
really difficult to cool it in the summer. Those windows were beautiful, right? You can see
Yeah.
those driving along Washington, and it's a really cool looking building, and those windows are great.
Yeah.
Until you're in there when
Right.
it's 90 degrees
Right.
outside
Exactly.
and the building is 85
Right.
and you've got your 3-year-old running around. That just becomes a challenge that we weren't able to adequately accommodate.
Right.
So a lot of people were like, good, you're,
Yeah.
you are keeping it. We didn't want to lose the science center, and we
Yes.
aren't.
Yes.
It's just going to look a little bit different.
Right. Exactly. Collaboration seems to be key to large projects like this. Who are some of your community or educational partners in bringing this new vision to life?
So we're having conversations, and we're thinking through what other STEM initiatives are already in the community.
Yeah.
So, Hawkeye has the Challenger Center that's coming up. So that's for junior high to high and up.
Right.
So and we've got a lot of robotics teams in the area. We have a lot of engineering firms in the area. How do we structure our space to fit in conversation with all these initiatives that are already in place, because we're really planting the seed for the younger age groups. Like that's been our niche for this for the Imaginarium building, and that will continue.
Right.
So once you get 10 years old or so, I'd say you didn't quite get as much out of the Imaginarium. It's hard to make a broad statement, right? Because everybody can engage with things slightly different. But I'd say our niche is really that 3 to 10. And so, we heard a lot of feedback from the community as well. We're in a very digital world right now.
Yes.
And it was always, a lot of people really appreciated the fact that it was hands-on.
Yes.
And there wasn't screens.
Right.
So getting all of that feedback and being in conversation with initiatives that are already in the area helped us with some of the new exhibits that we picked. There aren't screens. There's pretty minimal tech for our exhibits, because we want to have that sparking that curiosity by doing something with your hands.
Exactly. That's so exciting. So how do you balance preserving history while embracing innovation and modernization across the museum district?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're doing a really great job by picking exhibits that we can move over, that are low enough tech that we can continue to maintain in a safe way. Yeah. That also helps financially, of course, but being very mindful of Carl and Peggy's legacy as the Blue Dorns, right? They were instrumental in all of this. And so as we're sorting through, we have moved all of the exhibits over that are going to be in the new space. And that's 24 of them. There were over 70 in the old space. Wow. And so those exhibits will be available for sale for our membership and our public and educators and nonprofits in the area as well. And we're leaning into that opportunity. Not only are exhibits going to be for sale, but with a closure of a building, now we have to really rethink our storage space and what programming things what are the materials we actually use? What are things that we haven't used in a while because the program has evolved or shifted, or, was kind of specific to a staff member who's not here anymore or something like that. Yeah. So we've sorted through closets. We're going through all of this. So we've got tech, we've got costumes, programming supplies, craft supplies, decorations that don't fit in spaces that we have now, because spaces continue to evolve, right? As we convert something to an exhibit gallery, maybe we don't have room for a big Christmas tree anymore. Right. Things like that.
Exactly.
So all of those items are going to be available for sale the weekend before Thanksgiving. So there's information on our website and our Facebook page about that. But all of the proceeds for that sale will be given in memory of Carl and Peggy Blue Dorn toward the Reimagine the Image campaign. We're keeping some signage from the old building. All of that's going to be integrated into the design as well to maintain that legacy. But also honor the fact that our community has changing needs, right? We want to make sure that we are ADA. Yes. That we can account for folks who might have some sensory needs. That space where the new Image is right close to the sensory room that we have installed a few months ago.
Ooh.
So all of those pieces are coming together for a better experience for the visitor coming through our door.
Oh, wow. So what do you hope this new science center will mean for the next generation of young learners in the Cedar Valley?
Yeah, I love that we're picking things away from screens.
Yes, yes,
And
there you go.
Everybody is, the world we live in, we're so overwhelmed
yes,
by our screen.
yes, right.
And we're so dependent on that.
Right.
But to use your hands in a tangible way,
yes,
and unleash parts of your brain,
right,
to think through critical thinking and problem solving and exploration and experimentation.
Right.
So I'd say our mission is going to be very similar to what it has been, right? That hands-on science center, but hopefully it will be impactful in a different way from a digital-born generation who's always had a screen.
Exactly. So what's next on the horizon for the Grout Museum District? Any exhibits or programs you're especially excited about?
Yeah, so I talked about the underwear exhibit. So hopefully you can come down with your family. Like I said, it's a shorter run than usual because of that reimagined changeover. So November to May is when you've got a chance to go see underwear.
Yes, go see underwear.
Go see underwear. Because it's one of those things, right? All of us can relate to underwear in some way. But what did underwear look like in 1840?
Yes,
versus now?
Exactly.
And did you know men had corsets?
What?
Like stays, right? Like they weren't just to shape your body, but it was just to keep everything in place, right?
Oh, whoa.
So there were different kinds of things. So there's all kinds of things you'll be able to learn that you never thought about in the underwear exhibit. We have a new program series starting for the winter.
Okay.
So starting in December, we have a winter speaker series. So we're doing history and science concepts from 4 to 5 o'clock, the second Tuesday of the month, December, January, and February.
Nice.
So there's going to be David Voigt is going to talk about the Christmas star for our first program.
Sweet.
And then we have, January is a local farmer and veteran, Don Postian, is going to talk about his father's military service. And he's got a lot of artifacts that work with that. And then Frank McCoff, one of our collaborators and friends at the Vets Memorial Hall, is going to do a program about topic in Civil War. He's got a couple choices, so we haven't narrowed down which one we're doing just yet. So that's coming up December, January, February.
Wow.
We also have our regular tea schedule. So teas at Snowden House are always a lot of fun. We've got a harvest tea coming up on November 22nd.
Okay.
And then, which is the same day as the sale at the Imaginarium as well. So you can get over there. Yep. And then next week, of course, we're at Sullivan Brothers Iowa Veterans Museum. We can't forget Veterans Day.
Yes.
So we have a program about Vietnam veterans, honoring Vietnam veterans this year.
Beautiful.
So General David Cole will be giving a program at 1:30, but doors open at noon because local vet and former caterer Len Swatley is feeding homemade chili. So the door opens at noon, and then we'll kind of get everything going around 1 o'clock with a missing man ceremony and get everything going before General Cole speaks.
Beautiful.
And then next Thursday, we did kind of a pop-up program as well, something we added kind of last minute to our programming, but it's important. So November 13th is the anniversary of the Battle of Guadalcanal, which is the battle where the Sullivan brothers lost their lives. So we are doing a Remembering the Sullivans program.
Oh, how beautiful.
So the doors open at 6. Kelly Sullivan is going to be giving a program. She's fantastic. She's fantastic amazing. Friend of the Grout.
Yes.
She's going to be giving a program and sharing stories about her family starting at 6:30. And then we're going to be doing a screening of the Fighting Sullivans movie from 1942.
Oh, yes.
So that's from 7 to 9. So that you can register in advance. It is $10 a ticket because you're getting a program and a movie.
Yeah.
But if you're a member of the Grout Museum, all of these things are free. Wow. So you can always get a golden ticket by purchasing a membership too.
Yay.
But that November 13th is $10. You can do it at the door as well if you just come in at 6 o'clock.
Oh, how exciting. I have the DVD of the Fighting Sullivans.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, who's 26, when she was just like 9 or 10, she said, Mama, I love the story of the Sullivans. Can we please buy that movie? I was like, yes, of course. And then she ended up going to school when she got to Cedar Falls High School with, it would be Kelly's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
And she didn't know she would meet her, but she had such a love for the historic story of the Sullivan brothers.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yes.
there's a reason that we have our museum named for them,
Yes,
right? It's such an
yes.
important story.
It
It's still
is.
one of the largest single loss in the family military
Yes,
history,
right.
right? And they're here, local.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and it's such an honor and a privilege that we have family here in town.
Yes,
And Kelly
yes.
is so heavily involved with the museum. We love
Right.
having her.
She's
She brings her museum school kid.
amazing.
She's a third grade teacher, so she brings her
Yes.
class for museum school every year. She's involved in a couple of
Beautiful.
our committees and
Oh,
is always willing to offer some advice when we need it. And
I love her.
we appreciate that so
Kelly,
much.
if you're watching, thank you for all you do. We appreciate you more than words can express.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, how may our audience learn more or get involved, and any closing thoughts you'd like to share?
Yes, so all of our Reimagine the information is on our website and on our Facebook. You can also always reach out to me. So I do have an open door policy. I would love to hear from the community if you have any ideas about things or concerns about things. I want to be transparent with you about what we're doing at the Grout Museum because we're a local resource. We're your museum.
Right.
So I want to have those relationships and communications with you all. So never hesitate to email me or give us a call at the museum and ask for me. But all of the information is available several places, and I'm happy to email any businesses or things or schedule meetings with people who'd like to be involved with the fundraising component.
I love that so much, and have the honor and pleasure of serving on your fundraising committee. And we have the best time at all our meetings.
Yes.
It's so much fun. And just knowing that you're making a difference by joining that committee, I highly invite you to join us.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of event planning with that committee, but there's a lot of different pieces to what fundraising can look like.
Right.
So if you don't care about planning an event, we can work with having individual meetings with donors or like just getting the word out on what we are doing and how we're doing it.
Right.
We have several committees that we would love community input for. So if you're interested in what our exhibits look like, how our education programming works, our buildings and grounds, like the actual structures of our historic houses or how to maintain our beautiful facility. All of those things have pieces because we want to collaborate with staff, our leadership at the board and trustee level, and our community. So please reach out if you do have any interest in any of those pieces.
Yes, I love it so much. Thank you, Margaret, for being with us again today.
Thank you.
It's always such a pleasure and an honor. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Yes, see you at the Grout Museum. Have a wonderful day now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.